Kendrick Lamar officially sells 295,000 units first week. Now, what does this actually mean, and does it matter? Let's get into it. So to break this down, going by Hip Hop by the Numbers, an excellent Twitter account that I'm sure most of you follow anyway, this is 51% less than Damn's first week, and this is 35.5 thousand from pure sales and 343 million on-demand streams, giving Kendrick his fourth solo project to debut at #1 in the Billboard 200. So if you're wondering how they actually calculate sales figures from stream numbers, I've got the facts here. They're calculated by adding up total song streams from an album and dividing by 1,250 for premium streams, so YouTube Premium, Spotify Premium mainly, you know how it is, or 3,750 for free streams. I don't know exactly where those numbers came from, how they came to be, but that is the standardized formula that they use. So as I said, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, 35.5 thousand from pure sales and 343 million on-demand streams. Now, there's obviously been a lot of debate online about these figures, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that Kendrick came back on the track Family Ties by saying smoking on your top 5. And some people have decided that equates to sales figures. All right, J. Cole's off-season, 282,000. J. Cole's KOD, 397,000. Donda, 309,000. And then, of course, Drizzy, 732,000 for Scorpion, 613,000 for CLB. And you've got Travis Scott's Astroworld, 537,000. Even just talking about these numbers this much gives me a bit of a headache, because does any of this stuff matter, and what does it mean ultimately? I am old enough where the days where record sales were just record sales, and the numbers that you would hear would eclipse any of these numbers. Yet, also from that time, because obviously you had to buy the CD, the vinyl, the tape, whatever it was, the amount of people listening to the music was far, far, far fewer, especially in week 1, just by default. I mean, remember, free streams divided by 3,750. Now, I'm assuming that equates to YouTube views as well, because they would count as free streams. That is a hell of a lot. Remember, these artists and labels are gaining revenue from free streams. Spotify pays a lot more, for example, than even YouTube. I think we're getting caught up in a nonsense argument. We can always use numbers to back up some sort of argument about something. But I think we need to look at this from a different angle. An artist like Kendrick Lamar, admittedly, one of the hugest artists in rap music for the last 10 years, no two ways about that, but an artist who put out a double album over an hour and 20 minutes long, basically about complex interpersonal psychological issues and therapy. One of the most deep conceptual and lyrical albums to come from a mainstream artist in many, many a year. And this shit sold 296,000. I say sold in inverted commas because, I mean, the whole fact that we are focusing on sales using something that has nothing to do with sales in streams as a number really is nonsense. And I put out a tweet saying people are talking about Kendrick's sales figures, but they haven't bought music for 10 years. And some people are going, no, well, stream numbers count. I'm like, yes, but why are we talking about sales? Why are we talking about something sales as if that's something that matters when nobody's buying fucking music? When's the last time you bought some music? I'm not talking about buying a special edition vinyl. I'm talking about actually buying music day and date from iTunes even, let alone back in the day in the record store. It doesn't happen anymore. So these things are ultimately pointless. I think we can say that Kendrick Lamar, as an artist that makes extremely challenging music, to get these sorts of numbers is just a testament to the quality and acceptance of a mainstream, of any mainstream hip-hop audience, to still give that much attention and that much time to an artist like Kendrick Lamar, and you hope it goes week on week as well. And so it's not just hype streams at the beginning. I think this focus on sales figures is absolutely baffling. I mean, I've always come from the point of view where mainstream stuff, the highest level of mainstream, think about what's truly mainstream. The Fast and Furious, X Factor / American Idol, McDonald's. That is the stuff that sells the absolute most. We're lucky that currently the guy in hip-hop that sells the absolute most is the most mainstream #1 guy, can also spit in Drake. There's been plenty of times over the years where the #1 artist, the biggest artist out there selling, has been fucking awful. You have to go all the way back to Michael Jackson's heyday, really, for the top artist in the world to also actually be good. Right now we have that, and Kendrick, yeah, he isn't on that level. But listen to his album, nor should he be. The fact that he's doing big numbers is amazing. And then let's go back to that smoking on your top 5 line. If you think that's in reference to sales, Who gives a fucking shit? To sales? What, so not every single person, not every single casual music fan played some of Kendrick's album compared to some of the other bigger artists out there, relatively speaking? Who cares? It doesn't matter. We should be talking about the quality of the music, the depth, the construction, the production, the engineering, the lyricism, the artistic intent. And I know most of the people watching this video co-sign that with me. And yeah, there are always going to be people who want to bring up stats or numbers into any sort of argument. We see it a lot in football Twitter, like I follow. It's used all the time just to win arguments. And ultimately, it just comes down to what are the arguments you're trying to win. If you're trying to win tit-for-tat arguments on social media, using pointless numbers to back up your ideas, you're just fighting for clout in a pointless fight, way below the artist in question can't even see this fight. And there are other mitigating factors as well. A very low amount of promotion on this record compared to mainstream records. I mean, barely any compared to mainstream records. And also, I'm from the era where any of these sales numbers sound fucking pathetic to me. I'm from the era where people would sell millions. Actual fucking CDs. So none of it makes any sense to me. Even back in those days, people weren't listening to as much music as they are now. So I think we should just be thankful that Kendrick Lamar has managed to sell this many of an album. I say sale, I don't even like using that word. This many people are consuming this fantastic, intelligent, thought-provoking record. It's up there right in the top 10 in the last 5 years. So smoking on your top 5, let's talk about quality of music. Let's talk about intent. Let's have the debate, is this better than the off-season? I think it is. Is this better than Certified Lover Boy? Do I need to answer that question? And I like CLB more than most people. Art should always be valued based on the quality of the piece, of the work. Nothing to do with sales figures. You can and should indeed make arguments that are better records coming out from people who barely even scratch who barely even break even in terms of their money. We should be thankful that there is an artist pushing the boundaries and still making such waves as Kendrick Lamar. And if you're out there arguing amongst each other about small sales figures on stuff that isn't even anything to do with sales, then quite honestly, you need to shut the fuck up. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.